Welcome back to Let's Play Survival Kids. Today I am joined by my very cute girlfriend, Olivia.
Okay.
Are you not?
I'm not the best judge.
Well, in the last part, we got stuck on an island. Today we're going to learn a bit about how to survive on it. One good thing to keep in mind is that you can use these dried leaves, just set them on fire underneath these beehives, and you can get honey out of that. Now, the honey is actually a very healthy food. It'll refill some of your health. It will refill a lot of your hunger meter, and I think it will refill some of your stamina as well. And I think it actually takes like 10% from your thirst. Which seems strange to me.
Yeah.
Because I think honey is antiseptic.
It's also the only food that never spoils.
Which is also true. There's a sequence much later in the game where I literally just sit in the house and sleep for weeks on end, and I use honey because it never spoils.
Just like me.
But exploring around, I'm basically just finding anything with question marks and eating them. Because until you do that, you don't know what those things do. The effects are usually randomized. It can do anything from mess with your controls to paralyze you to actually fill you up, refill some of your thirst, or refill some of your stamina.
Your dinner got away.
Yep. Love to seeing that monkey again. That stream right there is one of the first places with fresh water. That sweet fruit, when it says, I feel energetic, it means it refills your stamina. And here we're seeing what paralysis does. Now I'm actually... This big rock right here, apparently we can use it to fish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I tried that and it didn't work. So I...
You just club fish to death in the
Basically.
water.
A little spicy means that we can actually use that, combine it with cooked meat to preserve it. And regular cooked meat preserved lasts a really long time. The only caveat is it's not as healthy.
So it's basically salt.
Kind of.
Salt's a spice, I think.
It's a rock.
Don't quote me. I'm not a. I don't bake that much. You let your other dinner get away.
That was a cheetah, I think.
Oh, so you'd be dinner.
I would be dinner. Cheetahs, bears, hogs, I think, boars, and foxes will actually hunt you down if they see you.
A fox?
A fox. Foxes hate you in this game.
And they'll eat your face.
Yes. Now I just picked up...
A boomerang.
No, it's a flexible tree. If I combined that with this fishing gut that was just lying on the ground when I could have easily just created a fishing rod out of vines or something.
I suppose the hook would be hard to make.
If I used a rock, there are sharp rocks around.
A weirdly shaped rock.
This little swamp, the only reason we're here right now is to get this big stick. We need that for leverage to push some rocks out of the way. Yeah, that was pointless. This is why we can't really get around this swamp. We have to actually come from the other end, and that's not until much later.
You're back where you were.
Yep, this is the best one.
It's like the really pissy kitty rides at amusement parks.
There's a clam.
Clam.
Gonna show off preserving the food here. First you gotta cook it. And then you have to merge it with whatever little piece of grass or berry you found that said would make a good spice.
Oh.
Preserved clams don't last nearly as long as preserved meat, though. And there's another flexible tree.
I don't know if it if it's actually a thing that seafood spoils quicker than other meat. Or if I just made that up out of thin air.
I do know they don't keep very well.
No, they don't.
Which seems strange to me because salt water.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about fish. But if you keep it for too long, it just smells terrible.
Yeah. And I found a little beachside hut. There's a few of these scattered around the landscape. We can't really store anything in there, but if you light a fire next to it, you can sleep in there. If you forget to light a fire, your character will wake up in the middle of the night hearing some animals, and then pass out.
And you'll be eaten.
And you'll be eaten.
Just pass out. Euphemism.
Well, you pass out, but you don't regain any stamina.
Oh.
But if you light the fire, then you do regain it. And you can also rest in there for a smaller period of time. Which is a better option for, say, it's raining, because then you can't light a fire.
Mm-hmm. Those beehives?
Those are beehives. If you just walked up to one and pressed A, the bees would come out and start attacking you. And I'm going to show that in a little bit. But if you smoke them out, then you can grab the honey. And that was a deer. We actually need a bow and arrow to reliably kill those. Now, I don't understand why bee stings poison you, because that doesn't happen in real life.
There may be some sort of venom that causes it to swell up and hurt for a long-ass time, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on anything I say. Is the lesson to be learned. One thing I did notice is I like all the expressions the sprite makes.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, other 8-bit
Yeah, it's 8-bit.
game? Yeah, 8-bit.
Yeah, I kind of like this game on a character level, because even though the backstory is incredibly stupid, his adventure dad brought a 10-year-old on a giant-ass boat, just the two of them, and somehow the kid learned enough from Adventure Dad to survive on their own at age 10.
Well, it is Adventure Dad.
Adventure's dad.
Finn the human as a dad.
But yeah, the game manages to characterize a character pretty well. Also, some of the things you can make are completely useless. If you find a rock and a stick, you can combine into baseball gear.
Well, that does seem at least semi-realistic for a 10-year-old to waste vital survival gear on making a toy.
Grab that big leaf for later.
To use as a blanket.
These aren't too hard to kill
Kill the
with
duck.
just the knife. That's the only way you can get feathers.
Why do you need feathers?
You use them for arrows.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that's our first piece of killed meat.
Killed meat.
Your character says, wow, it's warm every time.
Really?
Really.
I wouldn't imagine that fire would be warm.
Also, when you burn something that can't be made in anything else, your character says, wow, it became charcoal, and then you lose it. So basically, you just threw it in the fire and left it.
Because that's weird, because charcoal's useful.
Yeah. I'm guessing I made charcoal and then continued to burn it.
Because, like, you can use charcoal to write stuff, and I don't imagine you have a pen with you. Adventure pen.
Off in this little forest, we run into the monkey again. Rather, he runs into us. And he steals our shit.
Prick.
Now, this is actually kind of a Lost Woods section.
Ah!
In order to find the monkey, we have to go around in a clockwise fashion. Going any other way will just get you lost. But unlike a good Lost Woods, it doesn't take you back to the entrance.
Oh.
It just continues to make you lost.
So it's an effective Lost Woods.
I guess. Not a good one for a game.
Yeah, true.
At least there's only like 4 screens. This little meadow, there's not really anything we can do here. There is a pointy rock which we can use for the arrows. But we don't come back here until basically the end of the game. And if anything, the end for one of the several endings.
It's a multiple ending game then?
There are 8 different endings A few of them are similar to each other. A few of them are based solely on playing the game for 100 in-game days straight.
Oh.
And then your character basically immediately grows up and gives up on trying to leave.
That's a bit depressing. I'm never gonna be found. It hasn't even been 1 year. I'm never gonna be found.
Using that sticky mass from the evergreen tree, we can make a torch. Torches are a little obnoxious to use. When you go into a cave, if you try to go anywhere, your character will immediately stop you and say, I need to put on some light. And then you need to actually light a fire with the kindling, and then select the torch, light the fire again. When it'd be easier to just select the torch, and your character goes for it from there.
Yeah. So I suppose the not moving anywhere while it's dark makes a little bit of sense because you are 10. So I imagine you'd still be...
I'm Adventure Daughter, though.
Adventure Drew.
Adventure Drew.
Adventure Dad didn't tell you to grow a pair and stop being afraid of the dark.
There's some supplies in here.
Adventure Dad's scared of the dark too, that's the thing.
One nice thing is, it's actually nighttime right now, but since we already had the torch lit, the entire map is lit for us. If it was daytime, you would immediately put out the torch, and you'd have to relight it if you went back in. So I got lucky there. Inside this little cave is an iron chunk. We combine that with a stick, and we get an axe.
You couldn't make an axe out of stone?
No, but it had to be that specific pre-made chunk of rock.
Oh.
We're 10, we're not that ingenuitive. And the monkey is just peeing in a hole.
And then dancing.
And inside here we find a little radio with batteries, in which we can combine with our broken radio.
Broken, meaning it had no batteries. I suppose it's broken to a child.
Yeah. Wait for it, there it is. Apologies to everyone's hearing, by the way.
Oh. What was that sound?
That was a waterfall.
Oh.
Rather, a Game Boy's version of a waterfall.
Which is one of the most annoying sounds.
Also, with the axe, we can make a shortcut up to where that monkey was.
You knock down those saplings with one fell swoop. Of your little girl arms.
Bird feather. So we combine the battery and the radio, and we get a work radio.
The work radio. I fixed it! Dad'd be so proud.
So when you use the radio just on and off, you'll hear some broadcasts. Usually it's random stuff. Sometimes you won't get a response, sometimes a thing will say, your food will go bad, and Drew will be confused by that. Occasionally, if you just go back to it and use it, the story will actually progress.
Why would someone tell you your food's gonna go bad? All food goes bad. Except honey!
Take note of the different trees sitting right there. We'll be needing those in the ending immediately after this. So check in the radio. We find the usual stuff. Brought to you by broadcasting. And then we get a broadcast saying people are actually searching for survivors from the shipwreck. Survivors with the plural because there were
2 people.
And we find out later the other one, our dad, has been found and he's fine. So...
Not looking for you, but he's fine.
So, I'm thinking Dad stole a boat or something and took you out onto the ocean with no one else knowing. Also, funny little thing there, I actually forgot to make the shortcut there and move the rock out of the way. But as soon as you go down to the beach, you say, I should make the SOS here, and you immediately teleport to there.
These rocks aren't too big. Why haven't I always been climbing over them?
I do find it weird. There are a few things where we need supplies found to make certain things, but not the SOS.
Oh.
Also, shown off right there what happens when you eat a raw clam. Also, I'm currently dying. I'm so tired that I'm slowly losing health.
Take a nap.
Well, I can't.
Oh.
I'm actually supposed to go back to the HUD, but I'm just too stupid and didn't realize. So, in the meantime, I'm showing off. If you're very low on fatigue, or what have you, but you're in an area with respawning food like ducks, or even snakes or something, which you can kill for food. When you cook the meat and immediately eat it, you regain 20 fatigue. So it's a good way to keep yourself going if you're in a place with food, but you're kind of stuck there overnight. Which does happen to me a couple times.
There's the lesson, kids. If you're tired, just eat. And you'll stay up all night.
Insulin.
True.
Now that it's morning, I wise up and head back to the hut.
Yeah. If Adventure Dad stole the boat, they were searching because they were already looking for him, I guess. And he's been found, but he's also in jail.
So after we made the SOS, the next morning, you hear the sound of a helicopter.
That was quick.
The helicopter doesn't show up until you go to sleep.
But still the next day after you put out the SOS.
Yeah.
Pretty speedy. Well done, Drew. Yes, it's a helicopter.
By the way, you only have, I think, 5 days to find the batteries and hear the broadcast, go down the beach and make the SOS.
Oh.
If you don't, the search gets called off.
Oh.
And that's where the following endings take off from. So in the next part, we'll be continuing on from if we didn't get to the helicopter. But for Drew, in this universe, she is rescued, Dad's safe at home waiting with Mom.
The mom that had no input into the adventure whatsoever.
Could have taught her to take the wheel at the boat. Maybe it wouldn't have driven you headlong into a storm.
Adventure Dad and mediocre mom. That's pretty half-assed search. I mean, you go for 5 days, call it off, we haven't found her yet. Adventure Dad just didn't want to pay the investigators anymore.
5 days? How much are they charging?
$10 a day. Oh, god damn. I'm not made of money.
At least not after spending it all on that huge-ass boat.
Spending it on the boat. $5 days.
So every time you complete one of the endings, you get a bunch of little pieces of a full picture, which, and so once you've gotten all of the endings, you basically get the best ending from there. And then it goes back to the title screen, and you can continue from wherever.
Being found and brought back to your family isn't the best ending?
Nope. You get better endings, believe it or not.
Okay. You become queen of the island, and all its subjects.
So next time, we will miss the helicopter.
Yay!
Yay!
And be lost forever. Are there bad endings?
Yes.
Oh.
Stay tuned for bad ending number 2.